Hello and welcome back to the Retail Podcast, live from NRF. This time, Rob Garf from Salesforce, General Manager of Retail. Have I got that right?
You got that right.
Honestly,
You're doing great.
Little beads of sweat coming down my head. I actually saw Rob dazzling the audience about your new capabilities. And so, for those who don't know, let's take a step back.
Sure.
Let's talk about you for like the first bit, and then
that.
let's talk about Salesforce in terms of thing. So just tell us a little bit about you, how you got here, your journey through Salesforce. How long have you been at Salesforce?
Yeah, so again, Rob Garf, GM for Retail here at Salesforce. I've been here a total of 13 years. That's actually been a combination of coming in through the acquisition of Demandware, which is now Commerce Cloud. And I am now, like I said, oversee retail and consumer goods on the product side. So we're building products and solutions to bring them to market. The intent is recognizing that consumers traverse 9 different touch points in any given shopping journey. We're trying to create a unified platform to really personalize and remove that friction across all of those touch points.
Yeah, I mean, when I was at your Chicago event, I was blown away how you are embedding AI into like every single module as you go. And so you're responsible for that.
Yeah, in part in terms of bringing that to market for retail. And it sounds like you're at Connections. It's always a great event that happens in the fall, in spring, And yeah, you know, it's interesting. Everybody's coming at AI from a different angle. At Salesforce, of course, we put data in the middle, we put trust in the middle. But most importantly, what I'm hearing from our retail customers is they don't want another user interface to do their job. Our research at Salesforce has shown that store associates on average have to log into 12 different systems on a daily basis. That's just untenable. That really doesn't allow for more productivity, more customer and consumer engagement. So we bake AI right in the flow of work across marketing, across service, and commerce.
Wow. Okay. So I guess the outcomes that you're creating for retailers, you're allowing them to get to things a lot. I mean, customization, for example, is one of the outcomes you focus on.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about the outcome, and I like how you're framing that up, is ultimately removing the friction between inspiration and purchase through a frictionless and personalized experience across all of those different channels, both in-store and online. And with AI, we're doing that by embedding it right in the flow of work.
Yeah.
And what I think is also super, super interesting is that I talked to a lot of customers about AI. I mean, hundreds of customers since about 12 months that generative AI came onto the map. And some are talking about low end, or I should say bottom line improvement for efficiency and productivity.
Yeah.
Others are talking about top line growth. But the one thing in common is the customer and the customer experience. And also, by the way, I'm often corrected, it's also about the employee experience, ultimately thinking about what problems we're solving on their behalf and not trying to create these big shiny objects, but rather solve practical problems for either the customer or the employee.
Okay, there's a couple of areas that I want to go in. Yeti, for example, massive Yeti fan.
Brand.
It's incredible how many talks I've been at where they've used Yeti as the store of the future in terms of blending all of these experiences.
Yes.
Salesforce at the heart of Yeti.
That's right.
In terms of the e-commerce transformation.
Yeah.
Can you just for those who don't know about Yeti and what you're doing, can you just tell us about, the outcomes there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know them through tumblers and you're seeing them through the different coolers they have, really innovating and disrupting the market. Yeti is one of my favorite brands personally, one of the older Demandware, now Commerce Cloud customers, so holds a very near and dear place in my heart. And yeah, what they're looking at when they went from just going wholesale through the brick and mortar retail locations, going direct to consumer, they came to Salesforce and they said, how do we better understand who our consumer is? How do we start to connect the dots in terms of their profile, their preferences, their shopping behavior, what service queries they have, how loyal they are, to help personalize that experience. And it's not like you go out every week like in a grocery store to buy a new tumbler, but rather they need to think about how do we proactively trigger something to inspire the consumer to buy something new. And in order to do that, they are creating a 360-degree view of that consumer and activating it through marketing, through commerce, and through service. So again, that consumer is having a consistent experience. They're being treated and served as they should as a loyal customer.
It does feel that that's the blueprint of the future, if I'm honest, from listening to all the talks about how Yeti's creating physical,
Yeah.
incorporating digital, and then backing them off to each other, right? So the website refers to the store refers to the website, and you've got this thing. Final thoughts.
Yes.
Obviously, AI, massive theme.
Yeah.
What I'm really curious of, the number one thing customers, you must have met so many customers. What's top of mind for them? What's the one thing they're being asking you about?
Well, the thing is, I'm really encouraged about the positive mindset. I mean, NRF here, there's so much energy. We feel like we're back and even above where we were before the pandemic. And retail executives I'm talking about are focused on growth. They're focused on increasing the share of wallet.
Yeah.
And that might be beyond the categories of the products or the services they have provided in the past. That's why you're hearing about retail media. That's why you're hearing about retail health, retail logistics, and even more thinking about, again, beyond the kind of constraints they've been in the past. And the way they're going to do that is better understand the consumer and monetize loyal shoppers to find new and different ways to serve them better. And the way ultimately that comes down to, we talk about AI.
Yeah.
Right? How many times have you heard AI this week?
Yeah.
A ton.
Yeah.
Ton.
Thousands.
It's an AI revolution, but it's as much of a data revolution. It's a skills revolution. It's an organizational revolution. It's a trust revolution. And most importantly, it's a customer experience revolution.
Yeah.
And so you wrap all that together, and it's really a transformation that I have never experienced in my time in retail. It's fundamentally going to change the way we're interacting with our consumers, our suppliers, our employees, and ultimately driving loyalty and growing really sustainable relationships.
I love that. Can I ask one more question?
Please.
Okay. Salesforce, you have so many different components, so many different products, so many different entities. A lot of the community may not be, or the execs may not be on the Salesforce journey.
Sure.
If I'm thinking about this world and I'm either replatforming, I understand what I've built doesn't work, where do I start? What's the one thing, if I'm turning up to talk to Salesforce, how do I get the maximum value? Where do I start?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's a common question that I get. I guess if I frame this up a little bit, retailers are engaging with consumers, like I said, across 9 different touch points in any given shopping journey. Consumer electronics is probably on the higher end. If you're a fast-moving consumer goods like convenience store, you're at the lower end of that. But my point is, consumers are traversing online and offline to ultimately buy what they want and get the service they need.
Yes.
And so what's happening, though, on the retailer side, retailers, according to our research at Salesforce, have to manage 44 different systems to actually manage that engagement. That doesn't even account for the back office. That's just consumer engagement. You can't do that efficiently. You can't do that effectively. So you think about Salesforce. Of course, at the highest level, we are the number one AR. We are the number one AI CRM. Period. Full stop. What does that mean for retail? We infuse data. We infuse AI across the entire buying journey, across all of those touch points, marketing, service, commerce. We layer on Tableau for analytics. We have MuleSoft to integrate all those disparate systems, and Slack to bring productivity and collaboration to the hands of the frontline and headquarter workers.
That's fantastic. Rob, thank you so much. We can carry on. I know they're queuing up to take you away, so I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Thank you very much. Have a good day.